change my background before I jump in, so there it is. How's everyone this morning?
So far, so good.
Good.
Boy, all these fancy backgrounds, and here we are. Sitting in the living room.
That's a fine place to be this time in the morning.
It is.
I just have
Third or fourth month.
I always try and change my background depending on what I'm doing for that particular meeting on Zoom, and it's usually an all-day affair, so some variety makes it look at least as if I've done something different than sit in front of my computer.
Yeah, my favorite background is maybe not appropriate for a morning meeting, but there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I normally am.
Yeah. Phil brought that one to the president-elect's meeting, and we all wanted to come to Phil's house. Can we come over?
What was the of a virtual meeting at Phil's house?
So, Karen, this will be a governor here you'll remember, that's for sure.
You know, different than anyone has had in the past.
Yeah,
We talked a lot with the president-elects because, you know, of course, we got thrown out of PETS early.
yeah.
Yep.
And so we made up with PETS training online, and, you know, really was, you know, this isn't the year you signed up for. When you said, oh, I can be Rotary president, I don't think this is what you were looking for. So it's definitely been a different approach, but one I think that, you know, together we're just going to have a fantastic year.
Good.
Things will be different.
It'll still be different, but it'll still be special.
It will be very special. The interesting thing is, you know, in planning and everything, working through all the governor-elect trainings, you know, they talked about using technology more and getting clubs to, you know, go online. And, you know, when we talk about those things to the clubs, it's always been met with such great resistance. Oh, no, we have to.
No way could we do that.
Right. And then along comes a little virus, and all of a sudden everyone's online. It's like, if I told you 6 months ago that almost all of the clubs in the district would be meeting online, you would have laughed me out of the meeting. It just never would have happened. So it does make it an interesting way that we view Rotary right now in what we're doing.
So, Karen, are you scheduling meetings with the clubs, or are they supposed to get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me. I'm going to be sending out a newsletter soon that we'll put out, and then a separate email to the presidents to invite them to. As we were finishing up our online training, I said, you know, just let me know when you would like me to come. I said, it's a little bit more flexible now that it's going to be meeting on Zoom. I have been to two in-person meetings, 2 changeovers, but social distancing. One was outside, and one was in a huge banquet room with 4 people at a 10-top table, which was kind of interesting.
Oh.
But yeah, if you kind of reach out to them and try and get them in. My plan was to really travel hard all of July and August and see everybody.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, best laid plans. I was always a person who put things down as firm commitments in my calendar in ink. And now that has changed so much, with event after event being moved in or canceled. So it's been an interesting time to plan for the year.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody who's arrived. There'll be others joining us. We have some people who just turned up late. Lynn, I'd like if you can unmute so you can do the introduction to introduce Karen as our speaker today.
Well, thank you, Karen, for joining us this morning. Early mornings have been adjusting, I think, with most people. It's easier to meet virtually by almost any other time. Welcome to your new job description and your new duties, effective the beginning of the month. I'm sure that you're going to have a good year, exciting year, and who knows what will happen in 2020 and 2021. But we have all the confidence in you to be able to handle whatever pops up. This morning, I apologize, I don't have your total bio in front of me to finish a good introduction, but I know you're going to talk a little bit about leadership in the new world of Rotary here. So I don't want to steal any of your thunder. Let's just move right into your presentation this morning.
There's two more people
Thanks for
joining.
being here.
Well, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your confidence. Lynn chaired the selection committee when my nomination was moved forward for governor, which was so long ago. The governor journey is a long one indeed. The district governor nominee designate to nominee to elect to district governor, and I appreciate the confidence. So thank you, Lynn. And thank you, Phil. Phil has stepped up to lead the club yet again, and appreciate
Yet again.
Yet again. I, in fact, was a two-term president for the Ypsilanti Rotary Club. That's my home club. As we were moving forward just before Pat's, the president-elect had a job transfer. And it was my president's year, and they said, hey, and I said, what? But I stayed on for 2 years, and they were back-to-back years, and it was interesting in that ability to look at those years back-to-back and to do different things together. So it made a difference. So thank you, Phil, for stepping up. And again, this wasn't the year you planned for. And I know that you and the club are up to the challenges.
Yep.
So thank you. You know, I'm very pleased to join with you and the members of the Farmington Rotary Club together as we navigate this new era of service in the Rotary world. The Rotary's vision statement really provides me with the inspiration to continue to do the work in a world that has dramatically shifted in just a few short months. Rotary's vision is that together we see a world where people unite to take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And Rotary International President Knock, his theme for the year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. You can see the doors behind me putting that, and that theme really fits nicely with our vision statement and looking for those opportunities. And looking for opportunities to serve in a world that, again, has shifted dramatically. And President Knack challenges every Rotary to create opportunities to reimagine what it means to be a Rotarian. And really finding new ways is key to our sustainability as a service organization. So this year, I'm challenging clubs across District 6380 to help strengthen Rotary by focusing on 4 key areas. And the first is to increase your impact in the community through your programs and community service. And I'm asking each club to find 1 new project this year that will have impact in the greater Farmington community. And that 1 new project is just finding a new way to reach out to the community and make those connections.
Karen, can I just 1 second? As usual, I failed to mention this at the beginning, but if you're on here, this is being recorded, and anything you say is going to be in the recording. Possibly later today, this will then be on YouTube, showing our weekly meeting. So whatever you're going to say is going to be recorded and it'll be published. So this is the truth. This is the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Absolutely.
Over to you, Karen.
Thank you. The first challenge was increase your impact in the community, finding that 1 new project. And the second is to expand your reach by building awareness of the impact of the Rotary brand. Let's let the greater Farmington community know all the great things your club is doing. So often we plan great projects, but then we never tell anyone what happened, what impact we had, what the results of the project were. We're kind of missing that last connection into the community. And letting the community know and making sure that the Farmington Rotary brand reflects the brand and the message of Rotary International. third challenge is to enhance participant engagement. And it's by engaging members with participant-centered approaches that deliver value. And think member engagement, not the number of new members. It was kind of refreshing because in my planning for my year, I was really looking at the idea of not challenging membership numbers, which has been so often a part of every new Rotary International president who comes in gives us a challenge of how many new members we have to get. And actually, President Ack had that same kind of thinking because it's not the number of members, it's how we engage and retain the members we have. If we do a good job with that, and we really look at that participant engagement, people will want to be Rotarians, and the Rotarians that we have will continue to be Rotarians. And that revolving door of recruiting and in the front door and members leaving the back door, we could probably start closing some of those doors. So I encourage you to select members carefully. Make sure they're a good fit for your club and that your club meets their expectations. And sometimes it's hard when we talk about individual clubs to share members. If you know someone who would make a great Rotarian, but they might not be a good fit for the Farmington Rotary Club, take them to a club where they would fit in. If another club meets their passion or their drive or their expectations a little bit differently, share them with that other club. So engage your members, take care of them, encourage them on their Rotary journey. And lastly, to increase our ability to adapt. And we really need to build a culture of innovation and a willingness to take risks. You know, when I was a first-time president, I went to PETS and I came back with all kinds of fantastic ideas. And I got back to my club and kind of got the idea, nah, we tried that. Oh, that won't work. Nah, we like what we're doing now. It's hard to innovate. It's hard to change. I think the COVID crisis has pushed us into change maybe a little quicker than we wanted to, but we're looking at ways that we innovate, looking at ways that we can make a difference and make an impact. So to look at that innovation and our willingness to take risks, I'm asking and challenging every club to have at least one strategic meeting a year and develop a 5-year plan. Throw the rock down the road, say, where do we vision Rotary, Farmington Rotary Club being in 5 years? And as you define what your club would look like in the next 5 years, develop and implement actions that are needed to help achieve that vision. You need to revisit and adjust your plan each year as you look at it to make sure that you're on track and that you're still meeting the needs and the plans that you put down in that plan. So to help our clubs meet the challenge, at the district, we're going to be actively working on 4 key initiatives, including leading our own district strategic planning process. And we're going to chart our course for the next 5 years. And I'm going to be inviting Rotarians across the district to be a part of that. We're also going to be actively working to create new innovative club models and expand our reach by creating a district passport club and forming a new community-based Rotaract club. A third way is by focusing on member experience. I'm going to be challenging Rotarians in our district to show they are proud Rotarians. We're going to have a district-wide challenge that will promote Rotary and build awareness of the Rotary brand. I'm going to foreshadow that a little bit, but it's going to be built on Rotarians getting out and about in their communities, social distancing, but showing their Rotary pin, if a Rotary mask, which are going to be our new Rotaractors are going to be working on. But ways I'd like to get selfies, and the challenge is going to be how many places and how many opportunities you have to show that you're a proud Rotarian. And in the last thing, district-wide initiative obviously would be continuing our efforts to end polio. I would encourage every Rotarian in the district to donate to the End Polio Now. And we're also going to help everyone in the boundaries of District 6380 know about our efforts to eradicate polio by really, really having an impact on World Polio Day. So as we come together to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance member participation, and continue to innovate how we do Rotary, I know we will create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So again, congratulations, Phil, and thank you for all you do for Rotary. Working together, I know we're going to have a great Rotary year.
Excellent.
Happy to take questions or thoughts.
Yes, of course. Questions, everybody? It's too quiet.
I have one.
Hi,
Okay.
Susan.
So Karen, what is your plan for utilizing the talent that's within our own district that are not on your staff? They're not on your committees this year. What's your plan to engage some of our just Rotarians who have a wide variety of talents out there?
I'm actually in the strategic planning process, and one of the things that I really want to do is to expand the district's reach into the clubs. And I think that's kind of what you're looking at, but I want to encourage each one of the district chairs to reach out. I don't think a committee of one is a good committee, a committee of two. I think we need to have a broad committee structure that supports the work that each of those committees is doing. And to have those committees expand in a way that allows us to do meaningful work. And there's a number of reasons why it's important to expand our committee and our participation. I think it's very important, especially when we're looking at succession planning. If you don't have people actively involved in the committee and knowing what's happening with it, it's hard to bring new leadership into those committees. So looking at engaging and challenging each committee chair to expand and develop the committee structure underneath them. I'm not going to look at committees of one or two. We really need to expand out into far-reaching areas.
Hi, Karen. This is Susan Freilich from Ann Arbor.
Hi, Susan.
How are you? And thank you, Phil, for inviting us to log on. And I'm sorry I didn't realize that you were starting right at 8 o'clock. I was into that mode of the first half an hour is networking and then a business meeting. But anyway, I'm glad I got in. But I sort of then missed most of your first point.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind in repeating some of that for me.
Okay. We're talking about, just what we can do in clubs and how I wanted to challenge the clubs to strengthen Rotary. And there were 4 areas that I was putting forward. And the first was increased impact in the community through our programs in community service. And my challenge is really to have each club in the district find one new community-based project that they can engage in this Rotary year. Something they haven't done before, but some way to make an impact within the club. I think you joined us when we were talking about expanding our reach by building awareness of the brand. Is that right?
Well, I got in a little bit on number 2, tell community results of your projects.
Right. So that's the expanding our reach. I think that we need to continually, and actually part of the strategic planning process was to look at, when we're building projects, what is your plan to publicize the project? I'm going to be asking our district grant committee to say part of the grant process is, tell us what you want to do. Tell us, who you have on board, tell us the funding you have in place, tell us what you need for it, but also include in that how you're going to publicize it, how you're going to tell your community the great things that you're doing. So I think when we begin to integrate the idea of project planning with the publicity that goes along with it, I think we can do really good things.
I think you're definitely right. We've been having quite a few conversations in the last year, especially about the fact that we're doing lots of great stuff, but we're barely letting our own membership know what we're doing, and that we need to be better about getting the word out there about what we're doing and what we have done. So I'm glad to see that you're going to be emphasizing that.
Thank you.
Just a reminder to everybody, if you missed the beginning, come back to the site and we'll have a link to the recording of this meeting so that you can see the whole thing in its entirety, from beginning to end.
Wonderful. We just go to your website, Phil?
Yes, there's already a story up there explaining what we're doing, and there's a link in there to take you to the YouTube sort of library of the 4 that we've put up already. So when this session's done, we'll go off and do some work, and maybe later today, this meeting's recording will be up there.
Great, and then I can encourage that to other Ann Arbor people to be able to log on there. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no log on.
Oh, okay, just go to your website and find it on
Go to
the,
the website, see the link, and it'll take you out to a YouTube vision of the 4 or 5 meetings that we've had so far.
great, okay, thank you.
Just to comment on that, we started while we were still physically meeting at Scramblers, recording with the idea that we would get to the point of being able to have a library of subjects that people could look at our website, pick a subject and go to it no matter when or what the date was that it was prepared. So we're all becoming a part of the library this morning, and thanks for your comments, Karen. I'm sure that different clubs will hear different things, and hopefully maybe some of them will either look at ours, or if they do the same kind of thing, we can look at theirs to compare notes and to build that information source that's specific to basically 6380 and what we're doing here in the district.
Yeah, we recorded our actual breakfast meeting, and when we had a speaker, that was included. But we've been lucky enough, if you call having COVID in our midst being lucky, it actually drove us to the point where we needed to make sure we have, since we weren't meeting and there was no banter, no conversations going on, we needed to have speakers with some content that would make sense to come back and view.
Lynn had mentioned Scramblers, and as I was putting together my travel list when we were actually thinking we were going to see everyone in person, I thought, "Ooh, I love a good breakfast."
So do we.
Yes.
Sorry
Hi
about
guys.
that.
I think. Hello. Am I in? Because I've been trying 4 times.
You're
Yes.
in.
I don't-
No
Oh,
problem.
I'm in finally. Okay. I've been with you from the beginning. This is Nidal. Hello, everyone.
I need out.
Good
Good morning.
Hello, dear. Sorry for interruption, but I've been trying for 4 times. I can hear you, and I think I didn't go through, but I was listening from the beginning. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Nidal. Thanks for
Good
joining
to
in.
see you.
You're welcome.
Speaking of a library of videos to watch, Phil, and I guess everyone else, I yesterday had the opportunity to sit in with Cliff Dockerman. I know
I
Lynn
love
knows
that
that name. And Phil, I love that guy too. He's now 94. He gave what he called his last speech, and I posted that 57-minute video. It's a long video, but anybody who knows Cliff knows. So I know Jeff and Mary know too. He's
That's
just
my
a
favorite
treasure.
video.
Just a treasure. So if you get a chance, you got an hour, or maybe watch it in parts. It was for 94. Let me tell you, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Where is it, Ginger? Where do you?
I posted it right on the district web Facebook page.
Okay.
It's also on the Eradicating Polio page.
Yeah, I like his speech on, and it reminds me again that this year I should watch that speech again with Cliff Docterman talking about, oh, I wish I could be president again.
Yeah,
That
I
is
just
a
shared that.
fabulous video.
I just shared that with Jesse since he's
Oh,
now
it's awesome.
second year as president. Yeah.
Just watch where you put your little finger.
Go on, say that again.
Just watch where you put your little finger.
Yes.
And he hit his finger. Yeah, yeah.
What a
Yep.
Rotary treasure, though.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. We've used that at our club in the past, that video, as a basically entertainment and knowledge. It was a really good video.
I wish it hadn't been so long this time, because it would be a really, a lot of clubs are looking for something for their Zoom meetings, and it would be a really good video to put up, but it's 57 minutes, and that's a long time for Zoom.
You can play and stop. You don't need to watch the whole thing.
Right.
Ginger, did you say that it was recorded in 94?
No, he's 94.
He's
It was
94.
yesterday. It was just recorded yesterday. It's a brand new, he says it's his last meeting, his last speech. I hope not.
The last word on Rotary, according to Cliff Doctor.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't have his book, The ABCs of Rotary, with his quotes. I would love to get his, I'm going to look for it today online, because I bet his quotes are really something.
I have a copy of it, but don't ask me to put my fingers on it today.
Yeah.
But my question about 94 was because in 1994 was the first time that I attended a function where Cliff Docterman talked about being president again. And I've always appreciated that presentation of his particularly.
Oh, it's so true.
Unfortunately, it must have got under my skin because Bill and I have both lived that particular routine.
Over and over, right?
Over and over.
I heard his first speech in 92, and I was saying, he's just as dynamic now, a little slower in speech, but he's sharp and he's funny, and he's got that sense of humor where you don't realize he's going towards a punchline until he does the punchline.
It does set him up well.
So he's just I think even at his age, he's fun for young Rotarians to even listen to. So yeah.
So Ginger, is he a member of your club?
Oh no, Cliff is he's not in Indiana anymore, is he? I'm not sure.
It's California.
California, that's right.
Oh, okay.
This professor out there at the university is where he retired from, and he doesn't get around anymore. He's in a wheelchair, and he has an aide. It looks like he lives, from the video, it looks like he lives maybe in an assisted living facility, but he's sharp, and it was a really fun afternoon or evening last night to listen to him. So that's why. Yeah.
Karen, I have a question and a request. I think a lot of clubs are in a situation where our fundraisers are gone. Right now, our club is looking at virtually zero income for the year. So hopefully some clubs have come up with some innovative ways to do fundraisers. And if you could commandeer some of those and pass them along, I think all of us would really appreciate that.
Thank you, Jeff. I am planning on having a number of Zoom summits, and one of them is around fundraising, because I think there are a lot of innovative online social distance fundraising kinds of things that have been successful, and we're starting to get a book of best practice. So we're going to be setting up a number of different summits. The current club presidents have said in their training they liked getting together on Zoom. They had an opportunity to use all the capacities within Zoom. We polled them, we used the breakout rooms, we did all of that, and plan to continue meeting with the presidents throughout the year. And from that, they have been giving me a list of things they would like to see special focus on, and fundraising is one of them. So we will be planning those probably in August, so that everyone has some time to kind of think about what they're going to be looking at throughout the year. We're looking at, we'll do a summit on public relations, we'll do a summit on membership, we'll do one of those summits on fundraising, and different opportunities that we see throughout the year.
Great.
Not that we're being too pessimistic or nothing. Farmington Rotary has decided that we'll continue for the very foreseeable future to continue having these Zoom meetings as our meetings. We were, prior to the COVID change to our lives, we were meeting just the first and third Thursday, and then the last Thursday was a social evening. We've now gone to a meeting every Thursday, 8 o'clock in the morning for the first bunch, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the social day. And we'll continue doing that. This is, to us, is quite successful, and we think we're getting the word out better this way. So we'll be doing this for the future. Our club is tiny in comparison to other clubs, so we're hoping we can grow the club using this. So this is our new technique of trying to bring in people to Rotary.
And actually, the reports I've been getting from different club presidents has been that Zoom has actually increased for most of them their attendance.
Yeah, I believe
That
it.
having to show up for breakfast or lunch or the evening meeting, whatever it may be, this has given a difference because I've had some people say, yeah, I can just show up in my pajamas. I could put on a nice top and show up at Zoom and do whatever I want to. So it is making a difference, and people are participating more, which is getting into that member engagement and that participation and the reasons for being there. And, as we continue to strive to find really great speakers, I just got a message from our Rotary people at, let me say this again, the club folks at Rotary International, who kind of support all the clubs in the districts, have said that they're putting together a video portfolio of some really great Rotary leaders in giving speeches. That did not come out well at all. Maybe it's the hour. I don't know.
The hour. It's the hour.
It's the hour. But they're asking key Rotary leaders to give those 15 to 20 minute messages that will fit into a Zoom meeting in a really impactful way. So we're developing that video library as well of messages that can have impact. So I'm looking at those and, that continued reaching out into the community. Sometimes you'll have speakers who said, I just can't come, I can't get away, I can't do that, but they can sit in their office and connect for, that 20 minutes to half hour where they're going to give a presentation to the club and still have that kind of impact in that meeting with them. So
Absolutely.
There's been a lot more opportunities by being on Zoom that we have not had in the past.
I totally agree.
What else is exciting about this new Zoom opportunity is, I know for me, I've been speaking all last year outside of our district, and I even did a Zoom presentation to Nigeria. So, I've done California and Indiana and Ohio and meeting Rotarians from different places, and you get an opportunity to hear what they're doing in their places, and you find out how similar we are and how different we are. And so that's been a lot of fun to just be out there on Zoom and meet new friends that way.
Yeah, we're finding as far as attendance on our virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, that we're getting just as many or more, in part for during the summertime, people who are at their cottages are able to attend.
Yeah.
And that's a really neat, unforeseen part of all of this.
Surprising benefit.
Yes.
And actually, there's that tension between meeting in person and meeting online, and people do want to reach out. I know for Ann Arbor, Susan, you're looking at until the university's back open. Guys are probably not going to meet in person, number one. But
right.
But those that are, I've been encouraging clubs to continue offering Zoom to connect. Looking at if the club could invest in that small little projector that they can show. They could bring members in on Zoom while they're still meeting in person and having that ability. And those that, want to be there in person and have that would be great. And those that still, need to kind of can't get away from the office or can't connect, they would have that opportunity. So looking at even keeping technology moving forward into in-person meetings, I think would be important as well.
Yeah, that's what we were doing before COVID, in fact. We were having the meeting, but had a camera there, so you could be in the meeting if you wanted to join the meeting.
I was just going to ask, you need a separate camera to do that, right?
Well, no, if you've got a laptop, and that's basically what we were doing. We were
Okay.
using the laptop, and the camera in the laptop was showing the meeting, the actual breakfast meeting, and other people could join in remotely because we did live streaming of Zoom.
Yeah, we've been trying that. It hasn't been a good experience for the Zoom people because they can't see everybody in the room. So we were
Actually,
trying
we
to
had no
figure
problem.
out.
We had
would a
no problem
camera
placing
work?
the camera in such a way that they could see the entire group. Now, we're a small group, so even if we had 10 or a dozen, you could see them all, and you could hear their voices, and you could get the difficulty in those sessions. If we brought a speaker who was also presenting something, that was more challenging. We hadn't spent time to work out the technology to use the speaker's video in the Zoom part without seeing it on the camera. We know we can do it now, but at that time, for the last year and a half, which we were doing that, the challenge was when we had a speaker, making it useful for the speaker and the Zoom attendees.
I'm going to connect with you on that, Phil.
Sure.
And the reason I suggest if you connect a projector to your laptop is if you look at your screen right now, you can see everybody. So those that are remote can still be seen by those that are in person, and the remote people can get on camera seeing everything that's happening in the meeting. So it just kind of increases that connectivity a little bit.
Yeah, that's how we had it. It was good.
Yeah. So you can project everyone up so they get the Brady Bunch look up on the screen and everything kind of works together. But yeah, technology in looking at that innovation and how we do Rotary, I think is going to change significantly. We've already made great strides into how we want to see it different. And, everyone, when COVID first hit, it says, when are we going to get back to normal? And then everyone started talking about the new normal.
Mhm.
And I would just encourage you that, our future is going to be different. It's not going to be the new normal. It's going to be the new way we do. And how are we going to do Rotary? And each community is going to approach it and do it a little bit differently. It's going to have a different impact as we look at, the makeup of the community, where they're at, all of those different kinds of things. But Rotary has this brilliant ability to adapt. And as we continue to look at innovation and ways to adapt the ways that we do things, I think we'll find that we're going to strengthen Rotary, that we're going to come out of this year a much stronger district. Your clubs are going to be stronger, and Rotary International is going to be stronger and have a great presence in each of our communities.
Just wanted to offer,
Go on, Susan.
earlier in March, 2 days before we had to shut down, we received new members, 4 or 5 new members, and I was a sponsor for one of them. And so I got back in touch with him, and he really hadn't had a chance to meet someone. And the way that we run our Zoom meetings, we're too big to have, close conversation. So I set up a Zoom coffee for this new member and three of our members from the club. And it was really nice because even though I knew these members that I was introducing him to, I've known most of them for a long time, things came out in this Zoom coffee about them and what they knew that was, related to this new member. And I think everybody really enjoyed it. It was only about a 45-minute thing. But I started out by having our new member talk about his background and his profession and so on. And he's very involved in green building. And then, so it turned out, I was hopeful it would turn out well. So I'm going to do that about once a month now with that new member.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and I'm encouraging other sponsors to do that with the people that they've sponsored.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah.
Let me add a comment to that, Susan, because I think it might add a dimension that I really haven't heard too many people talking about, and that is with this electronic age, you can have a guest from anywhere in the world that has access to a computer, and you can add one of those people into your little fireside chat or chat over coffee, however you want to term it, and have an influence there to a new member or even to a couple of existing members about what is available, who's available, and the connection. And remember, over the last year or two, Rotary connects the world. How else can we express that except by taking advantage of our opportunity now, which is making use of virtual meetings. So therefore, anybody that can be awake on the other side of the world at the same time we want to have our little gathering, there's certainly possibilities to get those people involved with us. Individually, you can do it on your own, or you can do it as a club function or a sub club function. But I think there's a lot of merit to that. And we even, as Farmington Rotary, have to begin to look into that particular avenue.
And one thing I would encourage in one of, I forgot when I mentioned the different summits we're going to have, we're going to do a how to do Zoom and use all of the features on Zoom. Zoom offers a breakout room, and you have to go in. If you just sign up for Zoom, it's not on. You have to go back into the administrative functions and turn on breakouts. And in breakouts, you can just randomly assign people into breakout rooms. And or if you have a registration event, you can place them into rooms how you want to do it. I've been to a couple of different Rotary meetings where we started out by having people randomly go into breakout rooms and just talk and do that kind of get to know you and chat function. And then everyone's brought back into the meeting. At the zone level, we had all of the then governor-elects just before the changeover. And we met in breakout. They assigned us to a breakout room. We came back. We kind of had a little more discussion, and then they randomly sorted us again and threw us back out in breakouts that we got to meet so many different people. So if you think about a social, you can do those breakouts. You can get random people kind of coming together, sharing thoughts and ideas, and then bringing them back and forth. Also, the poll function helps people feel like they're engaging. You can put questions out. You can do different kinds of things. And there's a lot in Zoom that people don't get when they just kind of get the standard and don't look into the back to find all the extra goodies that come along with it.
Yeah, I attended a Lansing meeting a few weeks ago, and they put me into a breakout session, and it was great because, you know, there were just 4 or 5 other people, and we could have 10 minutes of conversation before we went into the meeting. She dumped us all back into the meeting. So I'm trying to get my own Rotary to do that, in that we have that period from 12 to 12:30. And I mean, we have just too many members to make that a very good session. People are just sort of saying hello and this and that. There's just too much going on. So I'm hoping that we can get to doing what Lansing is doing and some other clubs, where you go into breakout sessions and you can get some good conversations going, but they need to be limited and focused in some sort of way. I also might say, just yesterday, our new president, Joanne Pearson, we usually have a big fundraiser in early September, a golf and tennis outing, which obviously we're not doing this year. But they've been looking at smaller, different kinds of virtual fundraisers, as was mentioned by the gentleman earlier. And we're going to be doing sometime in August, I think maybe August 17th, a virtual wine dinner where we're partnering with a local restaurant. And I think what we're going to do is go pick your takeout, have dinner via takeout, pick that up, come back and connect to a Zoom meeting where their special wine connoisseur is going to talk to us about wine. So that's just one idea, but it'll be fun to get more ideas as time goes on about what other clubs are doing. Because yes, that is going to be a real problem this year, how to effectively raise monies to do.
Yeah, that is one that we've been looking at, is how to do that. So I won't say I stole your idea, but I'm going to continue to look at that idea of a virtual wine tasting.
Yeah, I think the restaurant we're partnering with here locally is Paisano's.
So Karen, I have a question. These summits will be advertised how, or how will we know about them?
It'll be out on the district website, in the newsletter, and also pushed out to the club presidents.
Okay. I think they sound really interesting, and I'm excited to sit in
Yeah.
on.
Looking forward to it. I think, you know, it gives us an opportunity to kind of talk on things and make a difference. So not everyone has to come to all of them, but those that are appropriate, people can show up for. So
Very good.
Karen, when are the masks going to be available? I would really love a Rotary mask.
we're working to get them up on the website. Hopefully by Monday, we'll have them up. And it is an initiative. We do have a new interest in developing a community-based Rotaract club. And they're going to do a 100-day challenge, which is going to challenge Rotarians to buy a Rotary mask. And the proceeds from it are going to help support the 100,000 mask challenge that the district has right now. So as Rotarians buy Rotary masks, we're going to take the proceeds from that, reinvest them in to get those masks out to frontline workers who are fighting COVID. So we're looking at also looking for information as to where in your community people need masks that are working on the front lines. We're talking about fire, police, rescue, any food pantries. We're looking at assisted living facilities where, you know, the seniors are involved. Also beyond the medical responders. So we're really looking at a number of different things that can help in that way. We've been looking at Head Start programs with children. We have one vendor who's helping us find child-sized masks that can make a difference. So kind of a unique way to bring those projects, kind of syncing them together to have those Rotary masks. But we're hoping to have it up on the website by Monday, and we'll do a push out on Facebook and out to the clubs that's available.
Very good. All right.
And it also fits into my Rotary Proud challenge of, you know, if you wear your Rotary mask and you're at your local grocery store and you take a selfie and post it, that counts for one, and it's going to be an accumulation as to how many people are posting their selfies with their masks or their pins or whatever else you might be doing. How are we getting Rotary out? Is there a sign at something that you're doing? Are you wearing a Rotary mask? Are you having your pin on? All of those different kinds of things. And just kind of building up the image of Rotary by that particular challenge district-wide. Fun prizes at the end, and I would say fun prizes at district conference, but still not sure what the year is going to bring for us. We are planning a conference for next year, but keeping our fingers crossed.
Wow.
So Susan, when you were talking about new members, and then Lynn was talking about the old fireside chats, I was thinking about the mentor programs we used to have and the fireside chats within clubs. And I was thinking about how Rotary just sort of recycles things with new names, you know, we kind of go back to it. But speaking of new members, I am a new member again. I have transferred clubs. My husband is retiring and was joining our son at Waterford. And I decided that it did not make sense for me to be a member of another club when both Jesse and Lee were in Waterford. So at the beginning of the year, I transferred my membership to Waterford Rotary. So I'm a new member there. And they are doing a golf outing. They are not doing a dinner. It's going to have a hot dog cart. And they were concerned that their sponsors would be financially hurting and that it was going to be harder to get sponsors. And every single sponsor came back.
Wow.
They didn't have any problem. They've had more trouble finding golfers than sponsors.
Well, that's good to hear.
And the challenge that I heard on golf outings is those that are having them is that unless you are married to or a partner with the person, you can only send one person out in a cart, which was, golf courses don't have that many carts. So it was like this, because they usually send two people out at a time. So they're needing to kind of expand their thinking on that. So, because social distancing means you can't just sit with someone you don't necessarily live with in the cart.
And heaven forbid we should actually walk on a golf course.
I know. which was,
Hey,
I think, the intention to begin with was to get your air and your exercise as you walk the course, but
Turn that light on. I don't like us being so dark. Do you? Correct. I should have done that a long time ago. All
Well,
right.
I think it goes without saying that we're thankful that you all came to the meeting today. We really want to thank Karen for being an early example of a speaker for our meetings that we intend to make available to others if they visit our library at some point. So you can all be co-authors of this particular episode of Farmington Rotary.
well, we have 2 future speakers on today too.
That's right. That's right, we do. And maybe that's another way to look at it. Expand your invitation list to keep all of those potential speakers that you'd like to have interested in your meeting. So again, for the official part of the meeting, thank you very much, Karen. Your message was good. We're looking forward to a future of Rotary that we probably no one can completely comprehend at this point in time. But thank goodness for Zoom and other methods of getting together and keeping Rotary the family that it really is. So thank you all for being here this morning. If you have to leave, certainly feel free to leave the meeting anytime. If you want to stick around for a couple of minutes and have some more brief conversations, I think we can do that. But for the meeting itself, officially, the Farmington Rotary meeting for July the 9th, 2020 is complete. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming.
and thank you for the kind invitation. I do appreciate spending the morning with you and looking for really a great year together. So thanks again.
Yeah, it was very good, Karen. Thanks. Okay,
Karen,
I can
do
leave
you
it
prefer
connected.
Zoom?
Sorry?
I'm sorry?
Karen, do you prefer Zoom for your governor visits?
Yes, if a club is meeting in person and I can make it into my schedule, I will try and do that. If I can't, I would like to Zoom in if I could. So
I asked because Waterford's going to do a hybrid program. So I'll let
again,
you.
it depends on, because drive time to Waterford for me and everything else, so it depends how it's going to fit into the schedule. But I can do Zoom or in person. I'm okay coming out of the house. I know some people aren't, but I'm all right. Okay. Good. Good seeing you. Thanks, Mary and Jeff and Lynn, Bruce. Thank you. Phil, again, thank you, and Ginger, thank you. Thanks for all you do for Rotary.
Before you leave, question to Lynn or Phil.
Yes.
What's the schedule for the next 2 Rotary speakers?
We have speakers, other than July 23rd, we have speakers every week until August 6th. I'll send you a note. We're going to publicize the list of speakers so you can plan in advance, but we have speakers scheduled for every week through August 6th, except for July 23rd.
Thanks all.
Thanks,
Take care.
Karen.
Hi, Karen. Phil, did you stop the recording?
I can stop at any time.